Hey. Um, Gotta love technology, Sarah. It won't let me request you.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, patient.
hey, no worries. Facebook was being a pain. I couldn't even find the live. I had to go to your profile to find it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I don't know why that's working, but we'll do it. But hi, everybody.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up on the computer too.
No worries. I figured I'd give you time to pull it up on the computer and give anybody time if they want to hop in before we get started.
If I don't have it on the computer, I can't see you.
Fair, fair. Thankfully, I can see comments on my phone right now, which is nice. Since I learned the trick of swiping it to the side, I actually haven't had the problem of not being able to see them. So that's nice.
All right. I am going to go ahead and say welcome back to any of you who catch us.
And welcome to anybody who's catching us on the replay. And if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. All of our previous tarot videos are on YouTube. They're mostly on Cheyenne's channel. There are a few on mine, but they're all on a playlist on mine. But the majority go to Shy's channel.
While we wait for people to jump on, I am going to go over our last program just because those who haven't joined us in the program, they don't tend to want to listen to this part. So remember, you need to give feedback and read the feedback from your partnership before and conclude your partnership. Yep. Oh my.
That's all right.
Tripping up on words. I'm not even looking at anything. Ooh, tongue twister. Let's go back. Remember to give your read and feedback before the partnership concludes, is what I wanted to say. Be mindful of your time. We give you roughly 2 to 3 weeks to complete the partnership in its entirety. Most of the time, there's like one or two, maybe a couple here and there that are less time, but for the most part, it's been pretty well consistently 2 to 3 weeks. And thank you for your cooperation and patience with the poll situation because
oh my god,
they weren't
that
working.
is so annoying. Facebook, every time it updates, it gets 10 times worse. Like,
I agree 100%. Facebook is irritating.
Yeah. So we'll continue to post the polls, but if they don't work, like if you go to vote on them and it's just not working, like don't worry because they're just dumb.
Facebook just said F all of us
Yeah, we're basically just waiting for Facebook to update again and it to not be dog shit.
pretty well. I agree. And overall, this was a fun partnership and the communication was pretty well.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So touching over some feedback from everybody else. So, did everybody enjoy participating this time around? Yes, everybody enjoyed. That's usually the case. A lot of people enjoyed gaining more confidence in that non-traditional readings, also learning more about non-traditional. And then, as always, people really like it when they can video call their partner. Everybody that does that usually seems to enjoy it. And I'm really glad that people are respectful of the people that don't really want to video call, or maybe like it's just not going to work out due to timing and situations. Communication was overall pretty good. A little bit of time management issues, but that's just because life gets the better of you sometimes. Not like anything that was a big deal. There were no program improvements that were requested. Everybody said that this just runs like a well-oiled machine, or that they're new, so that they can't really give any program improvements. But I would have to agree. I think we run really smoothly. I think it usually goes really well. Some suggestions for future lives. So let's go over some topic ideas people threw out, because we did let you know that if you come up with a good topic, that we might just use it for what the topic will be for that partnership program. So here are some topic ideas that were given. What deities or guides are calling to you? I know we've done a question that was kind of similar to that one in the past. Is there an area I should explore more in my craft? That's a good one. I really like that one.
I
What
agree.
sh what should I go to prepare for fall or winter? I could see myself making a spread that has like that in the play for a partnership. I could see that being good. And then the good old what message do I need to hear? That's an oldie but a goodie, and I think we've done that one more than once. But
I
I could be wrong.
agree.
Um, Another request was using spreads more, and we always get that request. And yes, we usually do incorporate spreads spaced out, but since we were doing the non-traditional for the 3 non-traditional lives, we were not doing a spread. But yes, the month after non-traditional is done, I will make you guys a spread. Don't worry, you'll get a spread. But we try to space them out so that way people that don't really like spreads or people that do, it's not like an all the time thing. But I try to incorporate them at least every couple partnerships so that way they're there. And then somebody else requested using more than one deck on at a time. And we have done a live on this and a partnership on this, but it was a while ago. It was exactly a year ago almost. It was August 16th, 2024. Other divinations added the first part of 3 sections. It's when we added Oracle, Cartomancy, Affirmation cards, and additional decks, basically adding any other cards to it. So that was like a big thing that we were doing a year ago. Oh my gosh, Cheyenne, can you believe how long we've been making tarot videos?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is like when I like typed that up, I was like, oh my gosh, we've been making tarot videos for so long. So I understand why people request things that we have just done, because you might not have seen that. But we do have a live going over that whole thing. And I will say no promises, but maybe in the future we'll toss in like a little additional challenge of adding in something more to a reading whenever we get there. If it doesn't like contradict what we're teaching, I could see us incorporating that, not in the informational sense, but in like a topic sense for the partnership program. That makes sense, Cheyenne?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, good. And then everybody said they would participate again, which is the usual, so we're glad.
It can't be as bad as me being a fumbling fool at the beginning.
That's okay. That was okay. I was gonna let you work through it. You're gonna get there.
Overall, everybody had some really good suggestions for future live topic ideas. So we definitely have wrote them down to keep in mind for future reference.
Yes.
And I'm glad to hear that once again, everybody would like to participate again. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's always
Especially realizing how long it's been since I've been doing it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we've been doing it for a long time. Like,
crazy.
and there's been some people that have almost signed up for every single partnership, which is like, I'm so glad for the people that obviously I appreciate all the newcomers too, but it's so nice when I can just see like people that are just always there. It's very nice, consistent.
I agree. It's definitely been awesome.
But let's hop into our little informational bit of today. So today we are doing the non-traditional colors and imagery, how to utilize non-traditionally deep dive part 3, the last part. We are going over Pentacles and the Cups. And then we will be done with our little non-traditional mini series in the series.
What do we mean by non-traditional tarot readings? Reference old live for a more in-depth breakdown from September of 2024 titled In-Depth Breakdown of the Reading Process. Non-traditional colors and imagery, how to utilize deep dive part 1, the last part going over the major arcana back in June, and our non-traditional colors and imagery, how to utilize deep dive part 2, the last part going over wands and swords back in July.
Yeah, so the last 2 months of the lives. And then,
sorry.
You're good.
Recap, no spreads, card limits, and specific questions needed. More cards does not equal more detail. Shuffling and pulling styles using different and multiple decks. Card positioning, falling out dramatically, flailing to the floor, slanted cards left or right, horizontal cards. Numerology, suits, and minor versus major arcana. What the energy of the card is telling me it means versus traditional meaning. Symbolism on the card. Just because there's a cross doesn't mean it is a Christianity thing. Maybe it has to do with healthcare, just a generalized reference, and the coloring on the cards as well. I need a drink quick. And then I'm going to jump into minor arcana.
No worries. I was just adding something later in the document because I had a brilliant moment. So I like scrolled down, which is like, okay.
So once again, we went over this in more detail in the previous live, deep dive part 2. But a quick recap, we will not be giving definitions for each card, however, helping you learn to interpret them on your own, since that's the key aspect of non-traditional readings. You can still do all of the same types of readings you can do with traditional readings, reading the card upright, reverse, general, spiritual, love, relationships, health, healing, and money and career. There are key things we are going to look at and discuss with the cards. Colors, symbols and shapes, numerology, imagery, emotional feelings, sense you may pick up, words, messages in your head, repeating, or a strong signal.
All right, so we're hopping right into our Pentacles. First up, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And for this card, oh, before I show the cards, I should probably say, I brought the Light Seers Tarot deck, I brought just the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and then I brought this Alice in Wonderland deck. So those are the only 3 types of cards you're going to be seeing from me, and they're pretty distinguishable between the 3. So, but this is the Light Seers deck. What decks did you bring, Cheyenne?
Oh, I only did my Universal Tarot and Celtic Tarot and the holographic Rider-Waite deck.
Nice, nice. Okay, so for this one, with the Ace of Pentacles, we have the main representation of the pentacle up here, but it's like kind of like a one of those mandalas or mandalas. I don't know how to say it. And then you have the sand going through the fingertips. Also, these little things right up top, you could probably interpret them as different things. It could be leaves, it could be something different. And then the hands, of course. Then we have different fades of colors. And then also, but if you look at it in reverse, it's going to be very different because think about the directional like movement of things. It's not going to be something slipping out of your fingers anymore. Like it's completely different when it's turned a different way. That's my ace.
I chose the ace from my Celtic tarot deck. Bear with me. I'm gonna play the move it game. In this one, I chose this one because it's different. You see them walking towards the sunlight. That can give you a scene of itself and make you think in a different way. The coloration on this is pretty basic, but it's vibrant. Like that yellow screams at you. You can also pinpoint what direction they're going. Maybe you are getting thoughts and feelings on this card. Overall, I thought it was different than the original Rider Waite one, and I felt like you could get more information from this card by looking at it.
Nice. I have the Alice deck. The Pentacles are called hedgehogs in the Alice deck. So, the one of hedgehogs. This is where, again, I've said this, so I'm just repeating myself. But I don't particularly love all of the minor arcana for the Alice deck. The 1 through 10, or not really just the 1, the ace through 10 of the minor arcana are kind of boring, in my opinion. So, like, we have the hedgehog, right? And then we have, like, could be, like, plants. And then we have the sparkles and these little dots that you see a lot on a lot of these cards. Just give it kind of that magic feeling. But it's overall kind of just the hedgehog. But we could look at colors, we could look at position. Again, if depending on direction is going to change, like the flow, the way these are growing. So those are some different things I would look at.
I love the hedgehog. It's adorable.
At least the hedgehogs are easy to keep up with, you know what I mean? Like they're round, they're like a pentacle, like I got it. Like some of the different names are a little harder to like know what the heck they're talking about.
Oh, I get it, because that's how the Nightmare Before Christmas deck was. I just didn't have enough time to pull from them.
That's right. Showing off different decks is good.
We're on to 2.
Oh, you didn't show your 1.
I don't have a 1.
Oh, tragic. Dang. I forgot that you didn't have your nightmare deck. Sorry. Anyways, the 2 of Pentacles. This is one that I actually really like because it's like not a purse. What is it called? A satchel.
Canteen? That's what it reminds me of.
It could be a canteen. Yeah, see, okay, there's a great example. When I look at it, I'm getting satchel, and when Cheyenne's looking at it, she's getting canteen. And now that she said it, like, I can see why she definitely thought that. But, like, it tied with the other up here, and this is up here is obviously just, like, light or energy or whatever you wanted to take it, but it's not, like, it doesn't look like a physical item. And so that could be, like, balancing, like, your physical world and your spiritual side. You could look at it with a lot of things. There's also some cute detailing in her skirt. This is the Lightseers deck. There's really pretty detailing in her skirt that my camera is just failing to show you. But it's like greenery and like flowers. There's some red flowers and some purple flowers in her skirt. And that's really pretty. And you could look at that. And then you can also see like the individual like fibers of her sweater. Not that you can see that on the camera, but it's pretty.
Patience, the deck is the Lightseers Tarot deck. She asked you what deck your
Oh, I
2
said
of
that.
Pentacles is from.
I just said it really quickly, I think.
Alright, I have just... Okay, I'm going to try to do this to the best of my ability. because the sun wants to reflect off that card. I got just the original Rider-Waite Two of Pentacles. As you can see from the light seers to the original, it's completely different vibes. He is holding, well, in an endless loop of two different pentacles himself. To me, this can represent, with numerology 2 or 8, because of that infinity symbol. That infinity symbol can have multiple different meanings. The way he carries himself with the water tides behind him being rocky could give you different meanings. And the colors, they're a little basic, but you could still pull something from them.
I have the Three of Hedgehogs. This one, as you can see, we're definitely keeping up with the same theme. We're having like this plant, and then we're having just the number of hedgehogs. But at least with these hedgehogs, like some of their eyes are open, some of their eyes are closed, are looking different directions. There are a couple of shades of green in the hedgehog themselves, but the background is like very bleak. Like you can pull stuff from it for sure, but it's a lot more like if you're into more simplistic cards where you don't have a lot going on, I could see you liking this one, like liking these a lot.
I have for you the Three of Pentacles from the Rider-Waite deck. Oof, that sun is gonna be my enemy. Bear with me, guys. So in here, you can definitely see the Fool standing next to two wise men, where he's trying to learn, and you can get, I don't know, 1,001 different meanings from just that meeting alone. The artistry with the set of threes. Obviously, numerology is 3, but if you're adding the 3 people with the 3 little symbols up at the top, you could get the number 6 in numerology. Colors, you can pull from those. There's a lot of different things mixed in here that maybe will invoke a feeling or a thought. Maybe you can play out a full scene in front of you when you look at this card if you pull it for somebody. Those are just a few.
So for the Four of Pentacles, I got the traditional Rider-Waite. And so if you look at it, we just have just a plain black backdrop up here. But down here we have a city full-fledged, and the city even has like some trees and some greenery in it and such. And then we can look at his outfit in depth, and he has different jewelry and he has the crown. We could also pay attention to the placement of the pentacles. 2 of them are directly under his feet, 1 is at his core, and then 1 is on the top of his head. So we could play like relevance to the importance of where these are. And then, of course, we could pull the numerology of just 4, or we could look at 2 because of the feet, or we could look at 3 connected to the body, 1 above. Like you could break this down to however you're looking at it.
For me, I chose the Four of Pentacles from the Celtic Tarot deck. I pulled this one because it's such a pretty scene. You can see a dude over here, 100% blindfolded, down on his knees, hands and knees, kind of playing or smelling the flowers directly in front of him. And from that alone, I can get a scent play or a feelings and a thought from that scene. The scent of those flowers, I can just envision the smell of daisies because that's what they remind me of. You can pull from the colors, you can pull from the landscape with that waterfall behind you. All of that can be pretty well taken into play, and it can invoke a multitude of different emotions as well.
For the 5, I have the hedgehogs again because I wanted to show you how it progressed in this deck. So here we do have a little bit of some differences though. Okay, so the bottoms, eyes are closed. Eyes are open, eyes are open. And then we also have 2 different colors. So we could look at the 2 different colors. We could look at numerology of a 4 and a 1 separate because of the different colors. We also, the greenery, even though it's not green, but like the plants on this one, much smaller. And they're really kind of only focused around this one. So we could look at it that way. We could look at it like a 4 and a 3 up here. Or we could look at it like a 4, a 2, and a 1. Like we could pull different things from it. Or we could talk about the eyes closed, eyes open in comparison with the colors as well. Those are the main things that I would probably use if I was trying to get a reading from using this card.
I think the hedgehogs are adorable.
They are cute. I like them because they're always rolled up in little balls.
So I chose the 5 from my Celtic Tarot deck because I just love this woman, how she sits in like a cave. The full moon is shining brightly up in the sky, filled with nothing but stars. You can feel the deep thought that she's in. You can see the pentacles surrounding her, kind of embedded into that cave system. She sits by a fire. She has a little skull next to her. There's different colors that come into play here with the different shades of blues, the different greens, and the different yellows to the red. You can have thought invokes, emotions invoked. Maybe those fireflies tell a story to you. There's different aspects in this card, and I really enjoy. Oh, you can even pull from the her facial expression with how she has her eyes closed and she's super just smiling while her head's tilted up. Just different things like that you can pull from that one.
For the 6 of Pentacles, I brought the traditional Rider-Waite card. So we have a city over in this corner, and then we have greenery over in this corner, and then these 2 people are obviously much lower than this person. He's like giving them food. It was what it would appear. They're also in different colors. Something that I'm really paying attention to is the fact that it's red, blue, and yellow. And then there's green. Talk about primary colors. But there's this little red tag in this person's pocket. That's something else I would look at. What is that? This is just some scratches in this person's jacket. Also, okay, so I'm gonna what the hell is this called? A scale. Yeah. With the 2 balanced with the 2 here, that is something that I'm gonna pay attention to a lot. Because for me, these are like 2 parts that are obviously a little bit like lower than this person. He obviously thinks he's some hot shit, clearly. And then I would also look at the pentacles over here. We have the 3 that are alongside over here, while these are arched in what could be an L, depending on the way that if this card falls like this, I'm gonna look at this and I'm instantly gonna think like this backwards L shape. You know what I mean? Like just depending on how it falls, there's gonna be a couple things that I'm gonna very quickly pay attention to. I feel like my
What I
description
find
there was a
funny,
little.
sorry, my eye is itchy.
I was struggling to get my thoughts out on that card, so no worries.
It's all good. What makes me laugh is I pulled from the same deck, minus it's the holographic version.
Nice.
So
I always love that we do that.
the only thing that I can say differently on this card, as a general overview, is I really think of, if I'm doing like a deity read, the scales give me Anubis vibes.
Nice. So for the Seven of Pentacles, I got the Light Seer's Tarot deck. I really enjoy this one. Because like you can see all the different pentacles sort of taking a different spot in this root system, building up, and he has his hand right over it. Like he's obviously nurturing this plant, keeping a close eye on it. And there's also, if you take a closer look, it would appear like there's a lot of nutrients in this soil. So like you're really building up your roots. Maybe all of the different things you're putting in are finally taking like root and it's growing. You're seeing like the work of your growth. This is a card that I always like getting when I'm doing readings.
Oh no, I can't see the light. Did you put your card down?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
No worries. I don't think anybody's watching live currently. I could be wrong.
I don't think so either. Okay, moving on. Seven of Pentacles for me, I chose from my Celtic Tarot deck. Um, just because this is the one that actually has a little baby elf,
Oh, that sounds so cute. I'm gonna have to look at that in the replay.
and you can see the pentacles floating around it. It has pure curiosity, pure innocence, pure happiness. You can get a lot of thoughts and emotions and colors from this card alone. I really like this card. It's one of my favorites.
Next up, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is also one that I really enjoy getting because of all of the stuff in the background here. So we have books, we have a feather pen, we have candles, we have plants, we have herbs, we have ingredients, we have like looks like a little letter scroll wrapped up, a green candle. Also, you could look at her outfit. We could look at her legs being crossed the way that they are. The bright shooting of light that's like centered around like her core and it spreads out from there. Also, that we have the darker colors going on down here. We have lighter colors going on over here. And then we have our moon phases. These are also things that I'm going to be looking at because I just love the moon phases for the Pentacles card. I think it's really pretty.
One of my favorite features of that card.
Yeah, it's really nice.
For me, I chose the Eight of Pentacles from the original Rider Waite deck. Sorry,
No worries.
I was eating a pickle because I was starting to get lightheaded.
No worries.
In here, you can see all of the pentacles minus the one he is currently carving and the one underneath him. He has been building a plaque up the wall with them. That kind of gives you like achievement vibes, hardworking. You can pull from the scenery how he is outside the castle, working harder than people that don't exist in sight. Um, you can pull from the colors. Maybe you're able to see some kind of scene in front of you. Just a couple little things. I don't use this deck very often anymore.
For the Nine of Pentacles, we have, this is a pretty card actually for the traditional deck. We have like a bunch of berries growing. She's holding a bird. She has a bunch of flowers on her dress. The pentacles are all around her. We have the two trees up on either side. This could be like a castle or a building off in the distance. And then we have the mountain ranges, and then obviously we could look at her clothing, the colors, the number of flowers. Like there's a lot of with this. You could look at the bird specifically and try to come up with things just surrounding the bird.
I chose my Nine of Pentacles for my Celtic Tarot deck because the woman in here is very beautiful. She gives me pure witchy vibes, maybe deity vibes. She has a long white dress on. All of the pentacles are floating around her. If you want to go numerology, there's a couple of the different numerologies that you can pull from. You can pull from the pentacles or how many tentacles are coming off of her dress. You can pull from the different colors that are in here, between the greens to the white to the background colors of pinks, yellows, and purples. You can pull from her facial expressions and maybe what she's doing here with her hands. There's a couple different things that you can pull from here.
For the Ten of Pentacles, if I'm doing a family reading, this is the card I want to get. Like, because it just gives me such strong, like, community, family, cheerful, gathering, inclusion. Like, those are the kind of vibes it gives me. Like, we have the dog, we have the three children linked in the back, we have man and the woman, like, and the thing I like to point out here is that we're all linked. Okay, the dog is touching this person. The hands are being held here. We're all holding hands back here. But these children are separate from this, but they're all linked also. That's something that I would pay attention to. Also, we can go up here and look at the beads and the lights. We can look inside of the large pendulum or mandala. We can look in the symbols of all of the different ones, because there's different symbols in all of them. You can look at that. There's a lot going on in that one that you could look at.
I really like that. And I can see the pure family symbolism there.
Yeah, that's just like something that just like screams off the card for me.
Here I chose for the Ten of Pentacles, my Celtic Tarot deck. And if we're going deity reads, that's pure Thor right there. With his thunderous hammer making the coins that fall below him, with the little goblin things taking off with the money. You can pull different colors. You can pull the symbol of, or the numerology of 2, the numerology of 10. You could even split it up between how they have 2 coins here and the rest of them are here minus the one he's working on. Maybe you want to pull from the colors, the many different colors of green. Maybe you are getting a vibe from the different Celtic knots that you see within the podium. There's a lot going on in just a small picture here.
For the Page of Pentacles, I also pulled from the Light Seers Tarot. This is another card I really like. This card, you could get grounding vibes, you could get shadow work vibes, you could get working on internally balancing yourself. You could even say that you get yin yang vibes from it, not necessarily because of like an obvious yin or yang symbol, but it could just be like the fluidity of the motion of her arms around this with the orange and the black. You could look at the way that she's standing. She's literally rooted into the earth below her. There's the grass. There's another mandala right here, whether it is a tree trunk, whether it's in dirt, whether it is like a rug or something. That's all up for your interpretation. Then we have the forest in the background, and then a light, like dusky blue-green kind of sky. And then we also have some detailing on it. So those are some different things that we can look at.
So for me, I chose my Page of Pentacles from my Celtic Tarot deck because in this one you can see a young adult, maybe teenager type vibed elven man who is just calmly working on his magic. At first glance, you can see just the forest. At closer glance, you can see that there's a ruin behind him. You can see that he's surrounded by fireflies and mystical light. You can pull from the different colors of red and greens and yellows. You can definitely get thoughts and emotions evoked off of this card as well.
For the Knight of Hedgehogs, I got from the Alice in Wonderland deck to show you that that the upper part of the Minor Arcana does look different. It's not just a hedgehog. He's giving Lizard Man, but we have a lot going on here. Okay, he's holding this sack. We have some greenery. He is definitely on the move. We have, see, this one is actually like green, and this is the same plant greenery that we've been getting on a lot of the pages. He is on either a ladder or he's on a railroad track. And then we have this building or wall or whatever you wanted to take it from back here. And you could just pull from all the different colors of things. We could look where he's looking. Maybe he's running away. Like we could infer a bunch of different things from this one. There's a lot more to work with on this one.
That's neat.
I like that at least the upper part was changed.
For the Knight of Pentacles, I chose from the Rider-Waite holographic. Here you can see a knight perched up on his horse, holding one pentacle in his hand. You can pull from his facial expressions. You can see that he's maybe deep in thought, or maybe something hasn't gone his way and he has to change something up. You can pull that background, a nice, deep, deserty background with a sun setting kind of feel in the background with the colors. Maybe you want to talk about how the water down here affects you. There's a couple different things on this one that you can pull from.
For the Queen of Pentacles, I picked one from the Lightseers deck. This is a card I really like. So some things that I really like about it is it definitely gives off like Mother Earth vibes to me. It gives off strong feminine energy. It gives off very earthy vibes. We could look at the tree. We could look at the leaves and the vines representing, like, it could be representing just the headpiece, or you could even look at it kind of like antlers if you wanted to. You could look at all the patterns and the coloring in her clothing. She is holding the one pentacle. We could look at the position of her arms, this kind of relaxed seated position, but she looks very calm, she looks very tranquil. I'm getting a lot of like peaceful and like serene like energy vibes off of this card. Those are some things that I would focus on.
For me, I chose my Queen of Pentacles from my Celtic Tarot deck because, just like Sarah's card, I felt she was a very beautiful being. She definitely sits with confidence on that rock throne that she has. She's surrounded by nothing but shrubs, so that gives me a solitaire vibe. She has two little fairies with her that she is definitely looking very pleasant to have around her. She sits with a perk and a very good confidence. You can pull the yellows and the greens. Maybe you want to talk about the reds. Maybe you want to talk about how she gives elven vibes with her ears. How the fairies interacting with her makes you feel. Just a few little things.
And for the last pentacle card, I picked the King of Hedgehogs. Well, I'm just going to throw it. I wanted to show that, again, that the upper part of the Minor Arcana, they're not the same, because we had the lizard guy for the night, and he's kind of creepy, I'm going to be honest. This guy, don't like his vibes. So we have this guy, he's wearing the apron, we have a hammer, we have this house with a fish on it, or by some water. We have some flowers and stuff again going on down here. This I can't really tell what it is. You'd have to just kind of interpret what you think it is. And then we have a boat behind him. I would probably pay attention to colors, looking at his outfit. Having a tool here is like something I would pay attention to. And then the fish, and the fish being obviously like fish straight out of the water. And something else I would also look at, because depending on my reading, I could take those items and interpret a message from that.
I chose the King of Pentacles from the holographic Rider-Waite deck. Here you can pull different numerologies, like the 4 different, I want to call them like bullheads. 2 that sit above him, and then the 2 that sit beside him. You can maybe pull that 3rd bullhead or the 5th bullhead, sorry, the 5th bullhead that's underneath his feet. There's a lot of different colors that can evoke your senses. Maybe you want to pull from his facial expressions, or how he's dressed in this very detailed grape robe. Maybe you want to pull from the background of the castle and how he's actually sitting outside instead. Just a few little things.
Well, I think now is a good time to add in the secret word if you're going to be participating in this tarot partnership that's upcoming. The secret word for this partnership, do not type it in the chat. Don't type it anywhere except for on the form when it asks for the secret word. I'll say it once. It's Sun Magic. SUN space MAGIC. So that is that, and we'll just get on moving into cups. So for the Ace of Cups, this is for the Lightseer stack, and then we have the One of Teacups. So for teacups is obviously cups. This one again, this is one I like because, like, you know, girl, I know that's a cup. Like, I can just look at it and I know. Like, I don't have to think about it. So for this one, we have the heart that's inside of here. We're holding it at like the center place. We have some different colors going on. Very pretty card. I like it. And then for the One of Teacups, we have our little teapot spout, and the lining on the card makes it look like it's going into the cup. And the cup has actually got like some painted different colors in there. We have like reds and yellow inside of the cup, and we can also look at the detailing on the cup.
I chose the Ace of Cups from the holographic Tarot-Waite deck. Rider-Waite deck. Man,
Okay.
I was reading the back of my card.
It's okay.
Hyper focused on it too. So here you can see the water underneath of it. You can see not only water, but the leafy greens of what are the lily pads that sit underneath there. You can see a dove, one hand holding out for the cup, and the water just keeps pouring out of the cup. All of those can evoke different emotions. You have different blues, yellows, whites, and greens in here that you can pull. Symbol or numerology is definitely one. Maybe you want to count the different lily pads. You could pull this plus up here, and maybe it reminds you of a healthcare worker. Just little things that you can think about.
My Two of Cups is from the Lightseers deck. I really enjoyed this card also. And the main thing I would pull from this card, besides balance or relationship or connection, is going to be these colors. Because that is a lot of what's going on in the card. We have a lot of different colors. But we could also look at this energy or the colors flowing out of the hands, out of the fingertips, in opposite directions into like each other's like cups. So maybe you're filling up your partner's cup and they're filling up yours. Like there's a lot of good messages we could pull from that card.
My Two of Cups comes from, again, the holographic Rider Waite deck. I chose this one to show the symbolism of friendship. Maybe you want to pull four instead of two because of the two men and the two cups. You can pull maybe fulfillment, talk about the background, the different colors in his outfit and his outfit. Uh, Maybe you want to pull zodiacs and you can pull that lion as a Leo.
So for the three, I have the Three of Teacups to show you how it progresses. So we still have the lining on the sides, just not in the middle. And we just have three different teacups. No saucer plates, just the teacups. But the teacups do have a different design on them than it did on the one, right? The design of the teacups is different. So there is that.
So I chose the Three of Cups for my Celtic Tarot deck. Because this gives me pure Beltane vibes if we're gonna go with the different Sabbats. You have three women dancing around one of those poles with the ribbons. You have the water in the background. You can see how they are all different ages. So it's like a child to a teenager to an adult. Maybe they're related. Maybe you want to pull the colors of pink or blue or red. You can definitely pull the numerology number of 3. Maybe you want to pull the numerology of 6 because of the ribbons. They also have chalices that you could pull the symbolism or the numerology of number 9 as well because it's 3 groups of 3. Just a few little things.
So with the Four of Teacups, I picked so that way we could think about this. So we have just another teacup. The lining on the sides are the same, but the details in the teacups are different, and that's where you're probably going to be focusing a lot. We have the flowers going from this teacup to this teacup. This one's going up. This one is coming down. So really, I would be based on my message. It could be like look, ooh, it could be a circle. You could look at it like that, like it's the flowing of the whole thing, or we could look at it on the individual cups as in like steps. We don't have to read it this way either because that's where the plant starts. We could go like this. We could get really close in here and we could look at the way the waves go to the teacup, and we could look at it like 1, 2, 3 instead. Or we could go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are just some different things that you could look at, still with a simple card. Here, Erica. And thank you, Patience. The Hedgehog's cards were really cute.
I have my Four of Cups from my Celtic Tarot deck. Here I get like meditation vibes. You can pull how he has the cups set up in the different yep, I'm gonna get that directions, which also correspond with the different elements. You can pull the different fairies that are shown behind him. He definitely is closed eyes with his legs folded in as he focuses on the one cup that he is holding. You can see that he is sitting behind a tree. Maybe you want to pull the yellows or the greens or the blue. Different thoughts and emotions, it can come from this card as well.
So for the Five of Cups, I picked just a traditional Rider-Waite. And
Me too.
so we have some different colors in the cups that are on the ground. We could look at numerology with cups that are laying down versus standing. We have this body of water back here. I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what that is. You're just gonna have to decide what you want that to be.
Facts.
And then over here, kind of looks like some sand houses and some like trees and such, but like these little details in the back are where you can sort of interpret what you're wanting it to be based on just what you're seeing in that moment. You could also pull the card kind of far away from you and try to like defocus your eyes on it a little bit and see if you can get something that way.
As Sarah was showing hers, I put mine up as well because we both pulled the same card. You could also look at it as taking a look back at my past, and I'm debating if I want to turn back or if I want to move forward, just to add on to some of the things that she had said about the card as well.
For the Six of Cups, this is from the Light Seers deck, and what we have going on here is we have sort of like the older version, and then up here we have the younger version. So we could look at that aspect of the card. We could go like from younger to older, older to younger, or we could ignore that aspect at all. Like at all, we could look at the colors in the bowls. We could, or the cups, but they look like bowls. We could pay attention to the facial expressions on the dog and the man, and the dog and the boy. We could just look at the background colors. We could use numerology instead of the 6 cups. We could do 4, we could do 2, because 2 sets, 2 dogs, 2 people. Like, there's different parts that we can pull from that with that card.
Sorry, I zoned out.
No worries.
I chose the Six of Cups from the holographic Rider-Waite deck. Here you can see the cups lined up in front of them with flowers blooming out of them. He's handing off this other cup to the little girl. You can see they live in like the village aspect from the background. Maybe you want to pull from the different colors that you can see here. Maybe the scene in front of you plays out and it invokes some kind of emotional response to it. Just a few little things.
For the 7 of Cups, I picked the traditional Rider-Waite card. So we have this person facing away, all darked out. And then each of the 7 cups does hold something different. So for your reading, you could look at all of the cups. You could look at an individual cup. You could look at just a couple of them. You could focus on the clouds. You could look at the person facing away. You could focus on it being darked out. Or you could kind of look at it like your head's just up in the clouds, focusing on all of this and not reality. But then when you look at each individual cup, you can pull from colors, you can pull from symbols, you can do numerology based on like if you think a couple of the things go together versus don't go together, you could pull different numbers.
For me, I chose the Seven of Cups from my Celtic Tarot deck. Here you can see a guy standing there with his sword, fighting, well, not fighting, but staring directly at a dragon sitting on a big pile of gold, and amongst that gold is the cups. You could get a battle royale out of this. Maybe you are thinking total Lord of the Rings vibes here, like I get. You can definitely see how he stands there with a purpose as the dragon is smirking. Maybe you want to pull from the different colors from here, or how his stance is, how he brandishes his sword. Maybe that scene invokes some kind of emotion that you're getting a sense of confidence, maybe a sense of worry or self-doubt.
So for the Eight of Cups, I picked the Light Seer's Tarot deck, and she is in a really pretty outfit, very flowy, walking away. And then we have the Sun. No worries, Erica, we'll catch you on the replay. We can see her footsteps. We could count the footsteps. We could look at the fire in the cup. We could look at the little white sparkles that are above. We could look at the bowl emerging, or we could even count the different reflection spots that are in the water.
For me, I chose the Eight of Cups from the Celtic Tarot deck because of this lovely lady. She has very beautiful silvery hair with wearing a beautiful purple dress. She's walking through the woods with the cups lined out directly in front of her. You can see fireflies shimmering off of them. I get a sense of confidence, a self of renewal, rejuvenation, maybe a sense of needing some space, or maybe it's a sense of needing to go enjoy more nature. Just a few little things that it could amount out to.
Here is the Nine of Cups. I picked the traditional Rider-Waite for the Nine of Cups.
Same.
So nice. So we have the 9 cups at the top, and then we have this blue wall. We could count the indentions on this wall if we wanted. He is sitting on a bench. We could look at the colors of his outfit. We could look at his wide-legged stance with his arms crossed. We could look at his facial expression. I'll just do those so that way you have something to say.
Up here, yeah, you have the cups, how they're standing right alongside of him. Maybe it's more of like an achievement vibes. Um, maybe you can pull from his face, getting a sense of confidence, definitely with that smirk he has on.
Bro looks really arrogant to me.
And of course, you can always pull the number 9 as your numerology.
Next, I picked the 10 of teacups just to show again how the teacups are progressing. And so we have one larger one and then a bunch of smaller ones. And then we can look at the little details inside of the teacups. And this was the last teacup card that I showed, just so that way you can see sort of what I mean by these teacup cards.
The teacups are cute.
They
I like
are. I
the
just wish
dogs
there
more.
was. Yeah, I was gonna say they're cute. I just wish there was more, and that there wasn't so many teacups.
I agree. So for me, I chose the Ten of Cups from my Celtic Tarot deck. Here you have a couple cuddling under a tree. You can get a nice day from the way of the landscape behind them is. The sun is definitely shining off of the cups that are sitting here in the tree. The tree itself has a face kind of looking down on them with pure happiness and joy. They look at each other with happiness and joy. you can pull from how maybe if you're doing a relationship read, this would definitely be something that contains happiness overall for me. Not that I'm a big relationship reader, but just a general sense there.
For the Page of Teacups, I picked this card to show you how the teacups progress, because like I said, the upper ones are different. So this one is really cute. Yeah, we have some waves going on down here. We have a lot of greenery. We have a lot of flowers. And obviously we have the cat. We have this little heart. We have some big old voluptuous whiskers. Got some really pretty blue eyes. A pink bow. We could count flowers. We could count spots on her feet. We could look at all the different colors. We could look at the position that she's sitting in. We could look
How
at like
adorable
what,
she is.
yeah, like the expression on her face. There's a lot of things we could look at. That one was really cute. That's why I picked that.
I chose the Page of Cups from my Celtic Tarot deck because this gave me like pure determination vibes. He is standing there. Well, he's moving through the waters, the flowing river, while carrying his cup triumphantly, as well as a fish, which, which to me gives you a sense of um overwhelmed determination. He definitely wants to accomplish what he needs. He has a family that he's trying to get back to. You can see how there's many fish jumping out at him. Maybe that gives you some kind of emotional triggers. He definitely has a triumphant look on his face. Just a few things.
So for the Knight of Cups, this card definitely gives me like relationship vibes. It gives me like charisma vibes, charismatic, like thoughtful. We have like a little love note. We have some food. We have like a picnic. We could look at this white horse. We could look at his outfit, his stance, his flowers. We could get real detailed and we could just start making imagery and symbols out of his tattoo because you can't tell it on the card, but he has a full sleeve. And you can see all the individual tattoos on the card. The flowers, his facial expression, we could just look at the colors.
I chose the Knight of Cups from the traditional Rider-Waite holographic. Again, you can see it's a knight sitting triumphantly on his horse. He holds the cup out in front of him. There's a river that is running, or stream that's running underneath of him, or about to run underneath of him. You can definitely tell his horse is walking back with confidence. This kind of gives you an overall emotional relinquished feeling, like I've already achieved so much. I can release a lot of this and pent up emotions that were inside of me. um Maybe you want to talk about how he is riding through a desert area, or the different colors that are on his nightwear that he's wearing.
For the Queen of Cups, I picked from the Light Seers Tarot deck, and she very much gives me water element energy. Like if I was doing like a reading where I wanted to focus on the element, I'm getting water 100%. She looks very devoted to what she's doing. Maybe she's worshiping, maybe she's working with a deity. You could probably get some different oh my gosh, you could probably get some different deity energies from this card. We could look at the way that her face is resting. We could look at her headwear. We could look at the crown above it. We could look at the beams of light and the directions that they're coming from. We could pay attention to what's above water and what's under water. And we could look at the different colors. We could look at her necklace. There's just a lot of stuff that you can really look at in that card. It's a
For
really pretty
me,
card.
I chose the Queen of Cups from the Rider-Waite tarot. Here you can see she sits on a throne next to a body of water. Maybe it's like the ocean. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting. Uh, she holds a different kind of cup. She has different colored stones underneath her, kind of like a baby mermaid creature on the side of her chair. She stares intently down at this type of cup that she has. Maybe you want to touch on the different colors that you see, or how this scene unravels in front of you and how it makes you feel. Maybe what you're seeing.
For the King of Teacups, last card I picked from Alice, the Alice deck, just to show a different card. We have this doorknob with the face and big old nose. We could look at the colors. We could look at his facial expression. We could look at the different lines on the walls, the detailing on the walls. We could count numerology based on wood panels, based on ripples. The yellow is really the big thing that I'm paying attention to. But that is for that card.
So for me, I chose the King of Cups from my Celtic Tarot deck. Here you see an elder man sitting there inside of a tree light. Well, inside of a tree on his own type of throne. He's surrounded by fairies. He has flowers all around him. He has his light or his cups shining out as he's gaining whatever is falling from the tree, which you can interpret however you want. I get like a midday to evening vibes from here. Maybe you want to pull from his facial expression or the colors that you see. Just or the symbol, or you can even pull numerology with how many of the different fairies there are, because there is a total of 5. Just a few little things.
Well, it is nice to say that we are now completed with the non-traditional and the traditional and all of that, with breaking down the individual cards. That is a plus. That is a small accomplishment that we have achieved. I'm not going to pause us for questions because I don't know if anybody's here. I don't think there is, but there could be. But if anybody has any questions about anything, go ahead and just drop that in the chat or drop it in the comments and we will get to it. But we'll just keep on going on into our next program, our next partnership. So if you're wanting to sign up for the partnership, now is the time to really open up your ears and pay attention. So the prompt for this upcoming partnership is, what does one need to focus on to nourish their spirit during this transition? What do I mean by transition? We are going from summer to fall. So that transition. An additional challenge that is not required. Oh, cool. Patience is here. Nice. We do have somebody here. Hello. An additional challenge that is not required, but you can do it if you want to, is to include additional cards, whether that be Oracle, affirmation, or other tarot. It was requested. This is the last month of non-traditional. Figured it'd be a great time to put that in there. So again, not required though. If you want to do it, you can. But a good, and non-traditional reading with no spread. But something I want to say is, if you're adding in other cards, this is just a note, don't do too much. Because if you're adding in other cards, you are adding in other cards to your reading. You're not doing 2 separate readings. What do I mean by this? Let's say I'm doing a tarot reading and I want to add an oracle, right? So let's say I pull a bunch of tarot cards and I have a message, and at the end I'm going to add an oracle. I'm not doing another entire oracle reading. You are pulling out cards that go into your tarot reading to help boost, support, restate what you're stating. You are not doing two separate readings or many separate readings using different cards. So if you're wanting to incorporate maybe some more tarot cards, just incorporate a couple. Don't do multiple different readings because then you're not adding in other cards. You're just doing a bunch of readings on the same question back to back to back. Does that make sense? Would you like to add to that, Cheyenne?
No, you
Okay.
said everything very well.
Thanks.
It's like we've been through it a time or two.
Maybe.
Again, it's a non-traditional reading, so no spreads. The dates, the signups will run from August 10th through August 16th. Yes, it's a shorter sign-up period because of dates. Names will
It's
go
still
out.
6 days though, guys. I
Yeah.
give you 6 days to watch the live. You got it. I believe in you.
Names go out August 17th. The partnership will run from August 17th through September 6th. Feedback will be due September 8th.
So, like Cheyenne just said, signups are going to go up tonight on the August 10th, 2025. They're going to run through August 16th, 2025. If it's late at night on August 16th, you can still sign up. We are not putting the names out until the 17th. So if it's not the 17th yet, hit your comment. You're still good. On the 17th, names are going to go out. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, it could be later at night. It just depends on what's going on that day. You'll know because you'll get your name and the group chat will start popping off. So you'll know that it started. You will have not missed it. If it is the 18th and you have not received your name yet, feel free to message because then there is an issue because we just didn't get you or something happened. So the partnership is going to run from August 17th through September 6th, which is a good chunk of time. So that way you have time to do your readings. You can space them out. Obviously, you could do your reading on the 6th. It's the last day, but I would really recommend not. So that way, one, your partner has time to give you feedback, and two, so you're not like at the last minute. Try to space it out somewhere in there. And then the feedback will run from September 6th through September 8th. And the feedback only takes a couple minutes because it's just a Google form.
Quick recap of the requirements for the program. If you sign up, you are committing to perform at least one read with your partner each. You have between August 17th through September 6th to both complete your read and follow the given prompt. You are agreeing to be privately messaged by whom you get partnered with. You must give each other feedback on the reading, what resonated and what doesn't fully make sense, if you could get more clarity on something. Reads can be done via Facebook video chat or just messaging. Feedback must be proper feedback, a minimum of 4 sentences, not including "thank you for this reading," "thank you for your energy or time," or "it resonates with me." If you do not complete your read, you cannot sign up for the next partnership. We will be checking. If you do not complete your read 3 times, you will no longer be able to sign up for the partnership program. You acknowledge and agree to be added into a group chat with all participants and crones for communication purposes. The group chat is mandatory in order to participate. You are agreeing to be in the group chat and stay in the group chat. If you wish to leave, please let the admin know. You are required to answer all polls, icebreakers, and interactive questions that are dropped in the chat throughout each partnership. You must keep up with your communication with your partner as well as Sarah and I. Remember to be respectful and courteous to each other in the group chat. The chat is there to communicate, learn, share, and be a safe haven for each practitioner. You are required to fill out the feedback link at the end of the program. The link to this will be dropped in the group chat the day after the partnership concludes. There is a 3-strike rule in place for the Tarot Partnership Program. If you do not follow any of the things we just listed, improper feedback, or not following the prompt correctly, this will result in a strike to ensure proper readings for everyone. Strike 1, you'll sit out for the next partnership and complete a trial read with Sarah or I. Strike 2, it will be 2 partnerships that you have to sit out for and complete a trial read with Sarah or I. And strike 3, you will no longer be able to participate in the Tarot Partnership Program. Our next live is September 14th, 2025.
I do want to add a couple of notes. So, when we say message and admin, if you are asking a question about the Tarot Partnership Program, not about tarot. Like if you're just asking a question about tarot, like I'm doing this reading, blah, 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 you can message whatever admin you want to because it's a witchy question. If you're trying to figure out something about the Tarot Partnership Program and you message a different admin besides myself or Cheyenne, they are just going to message us because it is not their partnership, so they don't know. So then they're just going to have to message us, and then they're just going to be a third-party person in between communicating. So if you need a question about the Tarot Partnership Program, please reach out to Cheyenne or myself because we're going to be able to answer that question the best for you. And then another crone doesn't just have to be the middleman in between the conversation. Something else I wanted to mention is that obviously right now, like we mentioned previously, polls are not really working. They're sometimes working, sometimes not. So if you do not fill out a poll, you are not going to be criticized because they're not working right now. So we'll be able to very clearly tell if the polls are working or not. So if they're not working, don't panic. It's okay. And then the last thing that I want to state is that for any of the rules, if you do not follow them, you'll be given a strike. Even if you are a first-time comer around for the program or if you've been here forever, it's just as simple as that. There can be no favoritism. There can't be any exemptions. You just have to reach out. I will say, though, if you're in the middle of the partnership, and it's not the day that it's due or after it's due, and you reach out and you say, hey, I know I committed to this partnership, but my life is hectic. This has come up. I can't complete this partnership. And you reach out, that is much different because then we can do something about it. But if it's the day of or after, then like you're not really reaching out in advance at that point. So there's not really anything we can do. And if the very last day of the partnership, something happens in your life and you're not able to complete the reading, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to excuse it because it's the last day of the partnership. You should have given yourself some time. Hot take, but that's just how I feel. But yes, obviously, if life happens, reach out in advance. There will be an exception made because you reached out far in advance. You'll probably just be repartnered. But if you don't complete your reading in the time allotted, then you'll be given a strike. Or if you break any of the other rules, that's why we tell them to you at the end of every live, so that way there's no surprises.
Absolutely. Other than that, I'm gonna just wrap this up and let you lovely ladies go. So thank you for joining us, and for those of you who catch us on the replay, don't forget to drop any comments that you have for us. Yeah, have a great rest of your night, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you. And blessed be, ladies.
Blessed be.